This is neuroplasticity. So how do we change our brain? That's the goal. That's what neuroplasticity is about. How do we change our brain and create new pathways that can look at things differently? That's what we're talking about. So create all new automatic positive and supportive habits that seem normal to us, right? How do we rewire our brain? Very cool. As a child, you can do this effortlessly. Like my daughter, I don't know if she's still with us, but my daughter is taking guitar. She's learning French. She's learning jujitsu. And it's just unbelievable how fast she's picking it up. It's unbelievable. So as a child, we do this effortlessly, learn new languages, etc. So the brain is customizable. When you bought your brain, did you know that it was customizable? And it's very, very much so customizable when you're young. The only problem is we don't control much of what it is that we consume. Our mother, father, teacher, preacher. These things become more difficult, this idea of learning and rewiring, more difficult after the age of 25. According to a neuroscientist, Dr. Andrew Huberman, if you guys don't know who Andrew Huberman is, go check him out. I'll put it in the notes. He's just super, super cool. He's a guy that was a wild child, skateboarder, did drugs, and just lived a real wild life. And then later on became a neuroscientist, and he's amazing. But according to Andrew Huberman, if you want to learn something new as an adult, it requires bringing a strong, uninterrupted focus to that event with repetition to trigger. This is what happens when you do things with repetition. It triggers the neurochemical acetylcholine from these two little structures at the base of the brain called the nucleus basalis. This is what he talks about, man. So basically, we do things in a reactive way most of the day. But when you proactively, this is what he's saying, is you understand this is going on. But when you proactively place focus on something, what happens is you're in control then. You're doing it on purpose. Acetylcholine is released at the very neurons involved in that new behavior, and it marks those for change. So what I just shared with you is that you can consciously, it doesn't matter what you think or what you're doing, or just if you can catch yourself dysfunctional right now, you can consciously make a decision to change. Now, it's going to take time, but you can actually trigger this acetylcholine release that will mark those areas for change, but you got to do it with consistency. So this change actually takes place during rest and deep sleep. This is what he says, is you trigger that and you mark it for change, but then when you rest and sleep, that's when it sets in. Super cool, right? It's triggered by focus and changes during sleep or rest. So for those of you that want to release from your programmed mind today and your brain, it starts with the acknowledgement of all this stuff going on in your body and brain. The first step to end suffering is the acknowledgement that you are, and understand why you're suffering. And it's not because of things happening to you. It's because of the way your brain works. And you've bought into some sort of an idea that was just an idea, right? Imagine if you bought into every idea that somebody said to you. Well, you have a tendency of doing that when your brain says things to you. So it starts with the acknowledgement of all this stuff going on in your body and brain. It's called interoception. So just quickly, interoception, here's a new word. Interoception is the lesser known sense that helps you understand and feel what's going on inside your body. It's almost part of the sixth sense, right? Sixth sense refers to acknowledging outside, but it begins interoceptively by understanding what's going on in your body. It's like saying, oh, okay, I understand why my brain is always thinking. That's what it does. And that's why I'm so fascinated with the pineal gland right now that, just creates melatonin and also potentially creates DMT, which is what I experienced in the Amazon. That's happening in your brain. If you're unaware of that interoceptively, you might not understand why all of a sudden you see some weird shit going on. So this is super cool. And it's a super cool word that is connected that most people are unconscious to. So by becoming aware of what is going on in your body, you'll have a much better chance at making sense of what's going on outside your body and why you tend to feel the way you tend to feel. So I talk a lot about the virtual reality suit, our six senses that are perceiving and receiving things, right? So that's automatically going on. So introspectively, you got to recognize that that's going on, and then consciously make a decision to reprogram it. Remember, it's customizable. Your brain, your virtual reality suit is customizable. Your senses, they're always senses, right? They're sensing things, but you can reprogram your virtual reality suit to look at things differently and sense differently and sort things differently, pan for gold in life. So I just think this is the coolest thing. So by becoming what's aware of going on, you'll have a better chance of knowing what's going on the outside. So follow all of that by placing focus on a new skill set. So you consciously decide what the new skill set is that supports the new reality that you want. Connected to your desired state, and then just simply get some rest, right? Focus on it, practice it, and then get some rest. That's what Huberman says. So the interface response system that I've created will help you gain access to the interoceptive awareness and focus. That's what it's about. It's about saying, what the hell's going on right now? And then integration of all of these things that we've been talking about, working on your habit of sleep included in that, will aid in setting up these new pathways neuroplastically. Does that make sense? Yeah, a little heavy today, but you know what? The reason why it's got to go heavy is that we have no idea what is really going on. I was talking to the co-host of our other podcast called NFTs Made Simple, and we've been getting really into artificial intelligence right now. And the reason why I'm so fascinated with artificial intelligence is because, what I've learned by gaining access to this new level of consciousness, and that's the plant medicine helped me do that, is that of course we can duplicate human consciousness. You know what I mean? Like the idea of creating artificial intelligence that might even be more intelligent and more conscious than us. Of course, that's possible because there's a chance that we are a duplication of artificial intelligence, right? If you look at the simulation theory, we could just be, some other generation or just evolution of life that created humans, right? I mean, what do we just like popped up under an apple tree one day? Come on, there's got to be more than this. So love and appreciate you all. Great morning, Risa. Great morning, Drew. Good to see some folks coming in. Thank you, Buffalo Bill. He was very, very vocal today. Excited in about 3 weeks to be able to go see my wife and my child in South Africa. We'll be running the show from there. Follow us at Rise Up with Dragon podcast. Join the Rise Up with Dragon Facebook community and get all of these. Our Rise Up with Dragon, everything. Just Rise Up with Dragon, our YouTube channel, and go sign up for our newsletter at riseupwithdragon.com. Love and appreciate you all. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern.